All right. Well, well, good morning. Welcome to My Help, My Mississippi. We're on WMPR 90.1, where we're going to provide you with some valuable, helpful, healthy information that you can take on the run. Some information that can make a difference in your life for the rest of your life. I'm so blessed to be a part of this show simply because we get a chance to be wherever you are, bringing you some knowledge so you can take it and make a difference. Not just in your life, but those who you love, those who come in contact with you. Hey, we need to be influencing people rather than allowing people to influence us. I get so tired of people always buying food just because it's on the commercial. You know what I'm saying? If it's not good for you, I don't care if it's on sale or what commercial it is on. We don't need it. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. I'm on a roll this morning, that's for sure, because we're talking about type 2 diabetes. I want to say up front, loud and clear. Type 2 diabetes is not mandatory, but action is required. High blood pressure is not mandatory. Action is required. High cholesterol, it's not mandatory, but we got to do something. Action is required. Hey, I have this saying: what you want in life, go get it. What you need in life, go get it. Waiting won't get it. And I'm here to tell you, if you don't go get your help, your good health, it's not going to run you down, beat you up, jump on your back. No, you got to go get it. So we're live here this morning on YouTube. You can always follow me at Charles and the Fighters on YouTube. That's Charles and the Fighters. The Fighters stand for Future in Great Health. Today, every day, responsible self. Because you know what? It's all about responsible. And listen, let me just say this. You see somebody sitting beside me. This is Miss Tina Clay. What you say, Miss Tina? Introduce yourself, Tina.
Good morning. My name is Tina Ray, coming out of Greenville, Mississippi. I'm sitting here with the great shelf so that I can learn some informative information so I can take back home as well, because I do understand that a healthy diet provides the energy that is needed to fuel our daily activities each day. And just, I want to piggyback off what he said. If you mismanage your health, then you're going to have some painful consequences.
That's the bottom line, Miss Ray. Bottom line, you can neglect you so because just because you don't give your body the proper nutrient that it needs does not mean that the body doesn't need it. It means that you have neglected it and it will become deficient and you will end up on some medication treating that deficiency when it is important to make sure that you give the body the proper nutrients. And here's four things I always talk about. I want you to grab it real quick. Uh, and that is, first of all, we want to get our vegetables. Get your vegetables in every day. Make sure you get some greens in your bloodstream. Hey, I got a green juice. It's called My Help, My Mississippi. Your health is your wealth. We got a team of guys that's out there. We partnered up with all hustle, no handout. Man, they're taking this to a whole nother level. Beautiful bottle, beautiful taste. Get this green into your bloodstream. Oh, but check this out. You want to make sure you get some fruits every day. Okay. Why? Because it's high in vitamin C, helps your immune system. You want to make sure you're doing this every day. Why every day? Your immune system needs to be high every day. Am I right? And your body doesn't store vitamin C now, okay? So the body needs to be replenished with that. You go to the doctor because you have pneumonia or cold or whatever. The first thing they're going to give you is what? They're going to give you some vitamin C. Well, we need to be doing that anyway. The other thing we want to make sure that we are eating every day is grains. Want to lose that weight you gain? Make sure you eat you some grain. I'm telling you, the Asian countries, before we westernized them, what was on their plate mostly? Rice. They wasn't gaining weight with rice. Rice has gotten a bad name because we don't understand how it works. But it is a great source for you. The other thing we want to make sure we receive on a daily basis is our legume, which are what? Beans and our peas. So let's make sure we
Whole
get that
grain.
every day around noon. Make sure you grab you some legume. That's what I say. Let's make it happen. So, making this show possible, we want to give a shout out to Tabernacle Ministry. Thank you, Tabernacle Ministry, for seeing something in My Help, My Mississippi, and believing in us. We thank you so much for the work that you're doing with your church and with the children's there. So thank you for being a sponsor of My Help, My Mississippi. Well, yes. Well, if you tuned in this morning and you were looking for, because I had announced that we would have a young man that has type 2 diabetes and his brother had type 1 diabetes. He was traveling this morning and won't be able to be with us. But we are rescheduling him because I definitely want you to hear his story. Okay. But we are going to have a young lady to call in, and that's a Miss Irina McLean. She's going to call in about 7:10, another few minutes, and talk to us about, about diabetes and some things that's going on. Okay. But look, type 2 diabetes, you can't play with that. Am I right? Am I right, Tim? You can't play with these illnesses now.
Yeah.
It would type 2 diabetes will take your eyes, your legs, and your toes too. I don't want that happening. Okay? I don't need that happening when it doesn't have to. And that's the thing. I tell people I don't mind dying. I just don't want it to be my fault. I mean, I don't want to intentionally kill myself and not even know that I'm killing myself by what I'm putting into my mouth, right? Remember what I told you. Now, your mouth is the door to the house where your kidneys, your lungs, your heart, your liver live. Stop opening your door, allowing people to come in to do your body harm. Does that make sense? So let's make sure we get that part of it right. Let's know that we need to go and seek after the right food. Okay, we do. It's okay to have a plan to be healthy. How many of you have had a plan uh, to go on vacation? Have had a plan to start a business? Who have gone to work every day and worked somebody else's plan, right? Because they were paying you a hourly wage or so we always have plans, but the thing that we neglect most of the time, we don't plan for our health. Now that's one thing I do every day, because nothing's going to happen unless you go and plan and make something happen. Okay,
Intentional.
because intentional,
That's right.
exactly. Because so we get in a routine. I tell people in the beginning we develop habits, but in the end, habits develop us, right?
That's right.
I don't need my habits to take me down the wrong road. So
Exactly.
I intentionally include every day. I make sure I get me some fruits every day, team. And don't tell me what fruits you like or don't like, because there's so many of them out there. You can find something that you like. Am I right?
That's correct.
I mean, and the same. It's interesting. People, and I get it though. I get it, guys. We've been taught wrong for so long.
Yes. Yes.
Uh, People are quick to tell us what they don't like. Well, I don't like it, but I hadn't met anybody, Tina, that like taking medication, but they take it every day. They have a plan to take it.
That's
They,
right.
they put it in a pill bottle to make sure that they're taking it on Mondays and then on Tuesdays and then on Wednesdays. That's called a plan. But they will not put a plan together to eat some fruits every day. Put the fruits in a bottle, a box to the Monday and Tuesday. I think that plan will work because I tell people all the time, I eat my medicine rather than take somebody else's medicine,
That's right.
because the medicine that I eat, and food is medicine. Steve Jobs said it best. If you don't make food your medicine, then medicine will become your food. So I intentionally make food my medicine. Why? Because it has all of the healing power, right?
You prioritize it.
I prioritize it.
Self-care is so important right now. A lot of people neglect to take care of themselves, and it's because I say most of it is we've been taught wrong.
For so
And
long.
even though we've been taught things, you have to have a personal relationship with yourself.
Mhm.
That if you know you want longevity, then there are some things that you have to implement in your day-to-day living so that we can we can make it to
Mhm.
see
Yeah.
old age, 70. But you can prioritize to live longer than that if you take the proper precautions to take care of yourself. And I totally agree. We have been taught so many things that are not wrong, but if there's an issue, there's always a solution.
Right.
It may not be the solution that you think
Mhm.
is proper, but then you still try. Process of elimination.
Mhm.
If this doesn't work, this should work. But we want to make sure that our intake of fiber, like you said, your legumes, your vegetables, those things are what makes life worth living. And it affects your health.
Yes.
You're resting, you're sleeping, your beauty fades.
Yes.
It's going to fade. But
Mhm.
some people you can see, they don't have saggy skin, they're
Right.
up in age. You as yourself,
Mhm.
well groomed, maintained, because you're maintaining your lifestyle in a way that's pleasing and that's going to give you longevity. And so you are a perfect example.
Mhm.
So how can you talk about things that you're not so passionate about that you're not doing? So many people talk the talk,
Right.
but they don't walk the walk.
Right.
Most of the doctors themselves, I work in
Mhm.
the medical field, most of them are obese, but they're
Mhm.
giving you a regimen of how to live. And I think that that is crazy,
Yeah.
but that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
And it makes it harder.
Yes. Well, I didn't want to stop Tina Ray now. Tina Ray was on the road. She preaching, and that was good. So, Miss Jones, I didn't stop you. Miss Jones stopped you.
Okay, we have a phone call coming in. That's
We'll
right.
keep that back up. All right. Yeah. So, we're gonna have our Miss Arena on. Let me. Good morning, Miss Arena.
Hey there, how you doing today?
We are doing so wonderful. We were just talking here on My Health. Thank you for being a part of My Health, My Mississippi, where we are providing people with information that will make a difference in their life for the rest of their life. And I shared with them earlier, type 2 diabetes is not mandatory, but action is
No.
required. Share with us this morning.
Well,
Go ahead and introduce yourself
Tina,
first, Tina.
Pardon me, hon?
Go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us what you do.
Sure. I'm Arena McLean, and I'm the executive director now at the Diabetes Foundation of Mississippi. And want to make sure everybody's aware that June is Men's Health Month, and there's a lot of stuff we gotta get you guys seeing a doctor, scheduling those preventive medical exams and stuff, getting enough sleep, and making sure you're staying physically active, eating right, and managing stress. I mean, we need you fellows around. I've got 3 sons, and it's just so important for guys to know that, we understand you're human, and we've got to get you thinking about your health. We know you're strong and, wonderful members of our great society here in the whole globe, and we want you to stay healthy and be there for your spouse, your significant other, your children, your grandchildren, and to be in good health too, because man, it's true, if you have your health, you have everything. Let's face it.
Yeah. I totally agree. And our health is worth fighting for.
Absolutely. I mean, I look back at my own family. I lost my dad when I was 19. And unfortunately, Dad had some medical issues, but he was stubborn as heck and did not go to the doctor or did not pay attention to what I remember it was an effort trying to get him to take his blood pressure pills every morning and in the evening. And that's so important because, if your blood pressure is running high, if you're stressed about work, family, economy, whatever, It's only going to drive your blood pressure higher, put you at risk for a stroke or heart attack if you're not eating healthily. And let's face it, back, when I was a kid in the 60s, we had more red meat than I certainly eat nowadays. But, and probably everything was more homemade, but still no one was paying attention to carbs, fats, protein, and all that. So we know a lot more today. And, even if you're doing your own cooking or if you're fast fooding it, there's all those health, everything from Hello Fresh to Hungry Root out there to, you can subscribe to meal plans a couple times a week to try to at least get an idea or go online. I mean, make use of the internet for more than just Facebook and Instagram. Get on there and look up, what is a healthy meal? How do I plan healthy meals on a budget? And look up about men's health and see what kind of, you need to get your blood pressure checked, your cholesterol checked, your blood sugar checked, eyes examined. Need to talk openly to your doctor about stress that you might be going through. Everything from changing a job to moving to having troubles in your relationships with your spouse or significant other, all of those can contribute to stress, high blood pressure, not getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep can make your cholesterol and your blood sugar levels go up. There's so much, and it's so important to realize that admitting having trouble, with getting to the doctor, getting enough sleep, or feeling stressed, it's not a sign of weakness. You're human. I've always talked to my sons about, the importance of mental health, because if you're stressed and you've got all this stuff on your mind, you're not going to get a good night's sleep, and that's going to leave you at risk for having heart and at risk for diabetes, certainly type 2 diabetes if you don't get enough sleep. And it's just so much better to talk with somebody. There shouldn't be any stigma attached to talking to support group, a medical professional, a psychologist. I mean, all of this is important. We all deal with stress every day, and certainly the technology, the constant bombardment and things electronically adds to stress and interrupts our sleep and everything. So there's so much that we need to think about, but you're half the population, and you've got to take care of yourselves because we need you.
Listen, you are 100% correct. We have to be intentional. Tina and I, we were just talking about that. We've been taught wrong for so long, and now when we have these computers, and you mentioned it, in our hands, and we just got to utilize them. We got so much knowledge right there, and when we know better, we just got to do better. And I'm not saying it's easy, but we got to make it happen.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's all those fitness tracking apps that you can get, like MyFitnessPal, and I use the Nike running app, even though I'm not running, I'm walking, to track my, time, my pace, how far I'm walking every day, and it adds up every month. It's like, and it's fun because you reach all these different levels, like the blue level, the yellow level, and I'm heading towards Volt in another couple of months. I guess I can't remember how many thousand miles it is, but it's just kind of fun because, it's a good way to track your health. I mean, the requirement that they suggest is 30 minutes of exercise at least 5 times a week, good moderate exercise.
Right.
I know a lot of our churches now have exercise programs. They have fitness programs. I know Greater Pearly Grove, I have a couple friends there, and they really have a lot of health awareness, church health fairs and everything. And it's just something, no matter whether you're just going to your doctor's office, going to a health fair at church, talking with your pastor, talking with close friends about what's going on, all these ways that we need to connect with each other. I guess that's one of the bigger problems with technology. It's kind of like, okay, you can now sit in a room, probably not feel quite as alone and, scroll the internet, but it's this human connection we're missing. We discovered during COVID when we were all locked up in our houses there that we need other people. We need to talk and communicate. And, a lot of what I've discovered over reading, doing some research on this, is that there is a lot of disconnect. A lot of men spend more time feeling alone because, women, heck, we get together, we talk your ear off. We get together and talk about things and try to, reach some sort of, like in our office when we brainstorm, we're all getting together and, it'll end up being a 2-hour meeting because we talk more. And it's just, guys, there's nothing wrong with expressing things that you're concerned about to other men or, even to your significant other or spouse. It's just that sometimes talking things out just can really help you relieve stress, particularly if you're going through a lot at work where most of us spend our days.
Right.
And, it's just really important. And communication's key, and also getting that all-important annual health visit. And if you do need to go more than just one time a year, do it, because it's do it for you, do it for your health, do it for your well-being and peace of mind.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. We got to get you. We're gonna have you back. You're gonna have to come and share some more with us. And I appreciate
Sure.
you though.
And we have a brochure at our office, happy to send out, as well as other information for Men's Health Month. So people can call Diabetes Foundation of Mississippi at 601-957-7878. Or you can go ahead and email us at hello@msdiabetes.org, because we're a nonprofit organization, so that's what that ORG means.
Okay.
And go ahead and email us and ask us to send you some information. It's all free and it's all good, and it's going to make a difference in your life.
So, well, Ms. McClain, I'm going to be reaching out to you because we do want to make sure that we can provide the information that our men need, and we can be slow for some time, and so I appreciate you so much for what you're doing, and just continue the great work, and always feel free to be a part of this show where we are providing information to save lives, and that's exactly what you're doing.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. We want to get our men healthy. We actually want everybody healthy, kids, women, men. It's take charge of your health and realize that our health is probably our greatest gift, and sometimes we don't realize it until it's almost too late.
Not probably. It really is, because you can have all the money, all the things you need in life, and if you don't have health, what good is any of it?
Yeah.
Health is your wealth.
Health is your
Stack
wealth.
it daily.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Ms. McClain. You have a great day, and we'll talk to you some more.
Too.
And thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate you so much now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, absolutely, Tina. We were talking, and again, a lot of companies are having wellness health fairs.
Yes.
Like I will be doing cooking demonstration this morning, actually, when I leave here, and this one is it's actually State Department of Health Wellness Expo. Yeah, and it's going to be at the Trade Center near the Coliseum, or next to the Coliseum. But we were talking before the break about doctors. A lot of time they're not in the best health, but they're guiding us. And a lot of people don't realize, Tina, that our doctors are not trained in prevention. They're not taught a lot of food education. What they're taught is to diagnose and treat your illness. It is on you to do what? Prevent and reverse the illness. They'll treat it until the day you die.
Exactly.
And so that's the difference. And you mentioned, and you're so right. A lot of them are unhealthy, and they're giving us the advice. And don't get me wrong, we definitely need our doctors. But I often say, Tina, if we had more food education,
Yes.
we would be on less medication.
That's correct. That's correct.
And we got to take some time to feed our body, but we also got to feed our mind.
That's right.
I say it all the time. Feed your body, feed your mind. You need to do it all the time.
And then you got to have a teachable heart.
Oh, yeah.
If you're not willing to learn, just because, as we said before, you've done things this certain way for so long, it doesn't mean that that's the right way.
Right.
You got to have that teachable heart. If the information is out there, see, sometimes people, you have to go looking for things.
Mm-hmm.
Such as yourself, you're here, you don't have to look for it. You just turn the frequency channel on or wherever, whatever platform, and you listen.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you do with information? It's two things you do. You take in that information. Sometimes it's something for you to do something with it. Then sometimes it's just for you to archive it for later on for a different
Right.
circumstance. But get that information, because as long as you're learning, as long as you're willing to learn, God still has use for you.
Yeah.
But if you've learned everything and no one can tell you anything, I'm just asking you, Chef, why are you still here?
Yeah.
Why don't you get your wings and go and fly away?
Yeah.
You've learned everything you have to learn.
Yeah.
Or won't you implement and help somebody else in the knowledge that you have? So I commend you for what you're doing, especially for our community. You're
Yeah.
not just, you're informing everybody. This wealth of knowledge is there. You don't have to go really looking for it. I'm here. And that's a good thing, because a lot of us today we're not willing to change. How do you want change if you're not willing to change?
Right.
Well, I want this and I want that, but you're not willing to do what it takes.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be fit and trim. You want to be a size 9, but you're not willing to do what it takes to be that size 9.
Right.
So you'll settle. But I'm talking about self-care, you never take a break from that.
Right. Oh, no.
You get no days off. It's just like the Lord. You call on the Lord every day, and you're supposed to take care of yourself daily and train your children, so that they're going to be the new generation. So we don't want them obese and at young ages having heart attacks. I have a couple of friends that have went through some tragedies that are on different medications that they thought that they would never see themselves on.
Mhm.
But guess what? All hope is not lost,
Right.
because the ball is in your hands.
Right. You're 100% right. And younger and younger now, because of the diet, in my opinion, with all the fast food, I hear more 20-some-year-old, 30-some-year-old having heart attacks and stroke. Okay? I do. And I tell people all the time, I'm good. I'm not going to change the way I'm eating. But when I was young, I was in the kitchen cooking with my mom. When my mom was sick and dying, I was cooking for my mom. Now I'm cooking because of my mom, because I don't want people living too sickly or dying too quickly. And she did them both at 58 years old. She died, yes. Yes, she died at 58, had a sister die at 54, another one died at 52. Listen, I had to make some changes. And I'm telling you, and I won't, here is my mission before we take a station break. Here's my mission: to empower people to view food as medicine and embrace a plant-based diet for a healthier life. We need a healthier life. We can't eat a diet that's causing us our health to fail, right? And then expect medication to save us. We look at medication as a savior.
Yes, and it's not.
And a lot of people, and I say this, and listen to this. We'll get in the prayer line and ask for prayer, but mostly we depending on medicine, okay? Because God will give us the willpower to stop eating certain things, right? Well, we're gonna be right back, and We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back on the other side of the hour. Don't go nowhere, WMPR 90.1, but we're having so much fun with Miss Tina Ray. What you say? Fighting for our health.
So they can see us now. Can they hear us and see us now? Oh, it's just a free.
Every day, responsible, where the fires, the future in great health. Today, every day, responsible, where the fires, we fight for our health. The future in great health. Today, every day, responsible.
Well, we're back, and let me just say this. The fighters stand for future in great health today, every day, responsible self, because Tina and I just been talking about being responsible. So if you're tuning in, because I had advertised that we had a brother that was going to be here, twins that was going to be here, at least one of them. One of them type 2 diabetes, and the other one is type 1. We're going to hear their story. It'll be at a later date. But we got to hear those stories, guys. And I just want to say, younger and younger, our people are getting sicker and sicker. Well, first of all, again, I want to say thank you to Tabernacle Ministry for helping us to bring this information to you. But this segment of the program is called "Who Am I?" So what I do with this, Tina, I give out the health benefits of a particular food, and people, guess what it is? Okay, here is this particular food. Who am I? Packed with beta carotene, which your body converts into vitamin A, essential for health, vision, and a strong immune system. Okay, so beta carotene, again, converts into what? Vitamin A, which is essential to your healthy vision and a strong immune system. Here's something else that we do. Vitamin A helps prevent night blindness and age-related muscular degeneration. We got to get that vitamin A into our system. This particular food contains antioxidant like vitamin C that help protect the body from illness and support immune function. Who am I? If you're watching online, put it in the chat. This particular food also is high in potassium, which helps maintain healthy blood pressure and reduce the risk of heart disease. Wow. I'm telling you, food is medicine now. Y'all can say what you want. I eat my medicine every day, intentionally, Tina. Antioxidant vitamin A in this particular food help keep skin clear, glowing, and protected from sun damage. Oh my goodness, y'all all know what this food is. Couple of more. This particular food is a good source of dietary fiber. You mentioned that earlier about this fiber, which promote regular bowel movement and support gut health. Oh, come on now. What food am I? Despite being slightly sweet, this particular food has a low glycemic index and may help regulate blood sugar. It's not going to spike your blood, okay? And we're talking about type 2 diabetes here. Some studies, and suggest that the antioxidant in this particular food, such as beta carotene and lutein, may help reduce the risk of certain cancer. Oh my! See, y'all see what I mean? This is why I do this every week, because I want you to be aware of the different foods that's out there that we need to be intentional about. Now, here's the last one that I want to mention because I think it is so powerful. The antioxidant in this particular food can help reduce oxidative stress in the brain, which support memory and cognitive function. in other words, can help with, Alzheimer's, prevent Alzheimer's and things like this. What food am I? I see somebody in the chat said sweet potatoes. Carrot. It is. Yes, it is. Carrots. It is carrot. Thank you, girl. Yes. It is slightly sweet, but it is not going to spike your type 2 diabetes, okay? And again, fruits won't do that either. These foods are high in fiber and low in fat. But the standard American diet that we eat mostly is high fat, low fiber. I was in a class this week, and they were talking about the average person in America gets 5 grams of fiber per day. And you know how many is recommended? 40. That's why Metamucil is selling so well. Okay? Because we're not using food. We'll go to the medicine quicker than we will. Yeah. And so we got to make sure, guys, that we're intentional. And I like what you were saying, Tina, about having to do it not just for us, but we have to be an example for those who are around us, those that we love, our kids. And
we have to create that atmosphere and teach.
Yes.
Yes, what we believe in and what we want, we have to be intentional with it and teach it to our children and create an atmosphere where you understand. Understanding comes from knowledge, but you got to listen to that knowledge, not just hear. Listening is not just hearing, it's about absorbing, and then something comes behind that. What are you going to do? And because we have these issues, especially in the African American us, we have to do better for ourselves. If we don't take the initiative to change our mindset, we change by the renewing of our minds. So we have to think, well, we've been doing this for so long, but has it been beneficial for us?
Yeah.
I mean, a good taste, a good feel, and then your body's proportion, 10 times is the way that you should be, or mentally you're not resting, you're breathing, it's heavy when you're walking, your pant size going up. If those are not things to motivate you, then what else? I want to be living for a long time. I want to see my children grow up and graduate, and my great grandchildren. So that means I have to do some changing within myself, and not all the time do I eat right. A blended family raising 6 children from 11 years old up to 19 years old. It's real hard, but I have to put some things in place, starting with me first. If I don't do it for myself, then how can I do it for somebody else? Just don't be just mouth lip service. Right. Nobody wants to hear that. Put some action behind those words.
Let us see it.
Yes, that's right. Let me see you. We talk about the hustle and bustle of life, but let's hustle to keep our mind, our body,
our health.
That's right, our health. Let's hustle for our health. We're hustling for that dollar, but you can't spend that dollar if you're not alive. It's gonna go to somebody else.
Yeah, and Tina, you're right on with that, because I see people that I was in school with, wheelchairs, walkers, and there's no difference in our age. It's just our choices, right? And where we when we get to this fork in the road, what we're placing in our bodies on a daily basis will affect us one way or another tomorrow. Okay? Now, I tell people, if you want to be mobile tomorrow, be mobile today. Okay? We need to start moving. You can't be sitting around and expecting to be mobile when you get older. It doesn't work that way.
That's right.
If you put an airplane, you build a brand new airplane, and you sit it and don't fly it, it will deteriorate.
That's right.
You build a new house and nobody is living in it, it will deteriorate much quicker than it would if somebody was living in it.
If you don't use it, you'll lose it.
Yeah, that is like, it's almost a law. That's a law, right? And so if we, and again, and I'm not, and I'll never play the blame game. That's why I'm here. I want to educate. I want to inform and let you make some decision. We can't make you make no decision, but now that you know what carrots will do for you, I mean, I'll be running to the store right now. Okay. I mean, I had some last night, but I'll be running to the store right now trying to find all of that information, right? That's what, and it's all the foods. And I tell people, eat the colorful rainbow. All the different colors, they mean something. I'm going to be preparing some stuff at the trade center. It's going to be absolutely fantastic, great taste.
Wow.
But I'm telling you something, it's good for me. Because I tell people all the time, I love good tasting food, but it has to be good for my body.
That's right.
If it's not good for my body, it is non-negotiable. I'm not going to my liver, my lungs, and my kidneys, Tina, trying to tell them, look now, guys, I know y'all are there and y'all need nutrients, but today it's about the sugar for me. No, I depend on them. They depend on me. We're working this thing together.
That's right.
There's no big I.
No little U's. That's right.
We're in it together. And if we take care of our bodies, and these, I call these my live five. I got my live five. Keeping me alive. Okay, so my live five: my brain, my heart, my liver, my kidneys, my lungs. Right now, we got more organs than these, but these are the top five.
Yes.
We ought to be paying close attention to these.
We're paying more attention to other things that are
I
not.
know.
So there we go back to, we got to prioritize what's important. Is this important or is this important? What's the most important thing to you? Your health. Every day that God allows you to wake up and see another day, that's a day that you should say, well, Lord, because you have preserved me and my bed is not my cooling board, then guess what? You're giving me another opportunity to get it right.
Yes.
I didn't get things right yesterday, but today I'm going to get things right because you gave me another chance. And guess what? It's not easy, but you got to start somewhere.
Right.
No day is a good day.
Right.
Today is the best day. So
like
you can't
that.
say, I'll wait next week, or I'll wait till I get this. Well, you'll be waiting and end up, you may never see that day. Don't put off tomorrow for what you can do today, and try. Nothing beats a try. Put yourself on a trial basis. I hear a lot of people say, well, they fast for a month. Some people won't fast for a day.
Right.
We fail to put in stone certain things and then carry it out. But if you start something and you got God in the beginning and your intentions are right, then guess what? He'll see it through to completion. But you got to stay focused. You can't let distractions and things, your trials, your tribulations.
Yeah, because things going to come up.
Because he said that they're going to form. He didn't say they were going to prosper. So we understand that we live in a world that's so full of noise and distractions. What do we have to do? We have to take the initiative, as you said, and be intentional in what we do. And you'll see the fruit of your labor. But if you don't see it to completion, you can't do it on Monday and then I'm going to take a break. I think, I deserve Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I'll start back Friday. Or I'm gonna do it Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, and then I'm gonna take a break because it's the weekend. Or 4th of July is coming. I'm gonna eat me a slab of ribs and some potato salad. We just have to do things. We have to prioritize and be intentional in what we do, especially with our health.
I like that, because what if our heart took a break?
Something to think. Let's meditate on that.
Yes. And I tell people, there's no food worth dying for. Okay.
There's no person worth dying.
No, and we got to realize, though, when we place value on food over health, right? Because we make these choices every day, right? And sometimes now we don't it's just common sense. Some of we know. Now we know we shouldn't have, because first of all, let me put this out here. Because again, I'm not telling you what to eat. I'm just sharing with you valuable information so you can make choices on how you're eating. Okay. So let me just give you this. So meat has how much fiber? Zero. Dairy has how much fiber? Zero. Egg has how much fiber? Zero. Okay, so now that you have that, and if you're eating that every day, 3 times a day, you're not helping your bowel to move. That makes sense? Because
Exactly.
fiber is going to help you move along,
That's right.
right? And so that's just common sense. And so when you have knowledge, like you said, now what we're going to do with the knowledge, okay? Again, you got to, here's where you can make sure you're getting fiber. 1, fruits. 2, grain. 3, legumes. And 4, your vegetables, okay? When you're including those things, all the different colors, now you're going to get some fiber. And we need to get up to those 40 grams. I mean, I'll be good with folks getting up to 20 grams when they're at 5 right now. I mean, that is totally, but I understand it, because when you listen to a commercial, and I was riding around a couple of days ago, and it just dawned on me, they was having a function somewhere, and everything they advertised was either the fried fish, the fried chicken, the ham hock, what they was going to have all of this, all of that is what they was going to have that. I didn't hear nobody say we're going to have some broccoli, we're going to have some string
chicken,
beans.
you know.
Yeah, nobody was having it. It was always fried and with the
No
oil
greens.
and all of that, no greens. None of that was being mentioned because it's not appealing to the mind.
That's right.
And folks advertise, get this now, not to your health, but to your mind, because they want you consuming what they're advertising. That's on us to decide what's right for us, right? And make those decisions. I tell people all the time, when you go to the store, you don't buy the whole store. You go in there, you're going to look at it, see what you want, your choice, and you'll leave the rest of it there until you come back. You may buy something different, right? These are choices that we make every day, and then we're placing it into our system. We need to be just as conscious about that every day. Coming out of the nursery field, I know you've seen some things, right?
Yes, a whole lot of things. One patient I had, she's gone on to be with the Lord, and she was on the kidney machine and having to go to dialysis with her on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I promise you, it was something that I hadn't seen before. For them to take all the blood out of her system
So come on,
and watch that machine replenish it back in, and these people are, you know, not in the best health, falling out, the ambulance is coming there. It just gave me a new perspective of, you know, my intake of sodas. I'm going to get my 7 or 8 bottles of water today. I don't exercise as much as I should, but twice a week I'm going to do that because it's important. Something is better than nothing.
Absolutely.
You know,
some mobility.
Exactly, some mobility. And, you know, just trying to juggle and coincide family, a job, just all the responsibilities, the ebbs and flows of life. But I know how important it is that, guess what? I won't be in this body all my life. And I want to be better than I was last week. See, a lot of us want to be better than we was last year. No, I want to be better than I was last week. The things that I did wrong last week, let's try to see what I can do to make these things better. I didn't get a chance to cook Monday and Tuesday, so I'm going to cook Wednesday and Thursday. And what am I going to prepare? So and then the cost of living is going up. So it is costly to eat healthy, but there's certain things you can pick and choose that is simple.
Sure. And that's where I come in and I show people, like, I mean, it's okay if you get your legumes out of a can, as long as you get low sodium and rinse them off. They're 89 cents a can, okay? You can get the dry beans. They're even cheaper, right?
Yes.
So the idea of it doesn't have to be expensive. You look at the price of meat lately. You look at the price of egg lately, right? So eating healthy can be so inexpensive if you are just making the right choices, okay, and let the body get used to things, because you're fighting for your kidneys here. So when you when you said that about the kidneys, you struck me because see, my mom was on kidney dialysis, and I was there on Monday, Wednesdays, and
Oh,
Friday,
wow.
and so you hit me with that, and I saw that blood coming out of the body, and I tell people all the time, the machine was operating like a kidney, but it couldn't take the place of a kidney,
That's
right?
right.
And I watched that, and it inspired me to say, because nobody was running to my mama saying, Cora, girl, I'm going to give you one of my kidneys because I got two. Nobody was saying that, right? And so I just, you know what? You better take care of your own kidneys. So I wrote this little thing. I was talking to my kidneys the other day. They said they had something they wanted to say. They asked me if it would be okay. I said, sure, have a seat. Let's get something to eat. They said, now see, that's the reason we wanted to speak. It's about that food that you always eat. It's incomplete and disrespectful. I said, hold up, watch your mouth. You know we live in the South, and fried food is what it's all about. They said, well, what you don't realize is when we quit, you gonna get sick. And if you want us to live, you ought to feed us plant-based meal.
That's right.
So every day I feed my kidney babies plant-based meal. But it started watching my mom. So when you were describing that machine, you took me back many, many years watching that. I don't want to put my family through that. That was one of the most horrible things it was so taxing on my mom. She didn't want to be there. I remember.
Yes, cold. She
Yes.
had, pajamas on, joggers, 2, 3 pair of socks, a blanket, and and to hold her hand. I was the only somebody that her daughter, her sons, that no one could, she would pull all of the tubes off of her, and they would call me, and I would come and sit there with her. And I was
Nurse Tina.
pretty lady, what you doing? I'm cold. And I would sit there with her and just make her comfortable.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
And if I can, and if food can make a difference, I'm all for it. That's why I spread this message because I know food matters.
That's your ministry.
Okay, that is absolutely my ministry, and it's no need of being a fool for food. A fool for food is when you are on medication for an illness that you caused because high blood pressure don't jump through your skin. It's because of something that we have put into our system. And if you're being treated for high blood pressure or any disease, but yet you're eating food that caused the disease that you're being treated for, which is now working against the medicine that you're taking, right?
You're not being treated.
You're not being treated. So I tell people all the time, if you're on medication, stay on your medication, but start eating food that's going to help the condition so you can reduce the medication and even possibly get off of the medication. But here's what we say. Well, I take medicine for it. I can eat what I want now. That's being a fool for food.
That's right.
Just thinking I can have what I want.
And just making excuses to do wrong.
Because here's the thing. And get this. Now, y'all write this down. If you're driving, hold on to the steering wheel. But write this down. In the beginning, you cause an illness that you have to take medicine for. But in the end, you're having to take medicine for what the medicine has caused. Right? Because there's always a side effect. And when you take it long enough, you got to take another medicine because of what the medicine caused. In the beginning, you may cause it. And if you don't fix it, you're going to have to take some more medication because the medication is going to cause some issues. In the beginning, you may cause these issues because you didn't know. But if you don't change, the medicine is going to cause issues. And you're going to take medicine for the medicine that you take.
That's right. It's like you're taking another lap. If you don't get it right, what you're going to have to do, take another lap.
Yep.
You don't get it right, take another lap. So you're going to take this medication. And if you don't follow those instructions, because that's your instruction manual. If you don't do that, then guess what? You'll be on more medication. Trying to,
And Tina, I know people, and our time is running out. I know people who are taking 3 and 4 and 5 medications just for high blood pressure. Just for high blood pressure. You know what that means? That it's important to have it under control. So doctors are saying, it's not under control. We still got to get it under control. Got to give you another one. Whatever it takes, I got to get that under control because it's going to be dangerous. It can affect your kidneys. You can do all that stuff, right? So until we start doing things that's going to help us control it rather than the medicine control it, we're going to be in bad condition. Am I right?
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely.
Tina Ray, it's been fun, my girl. Thank you. I want you back. I want you back. And when you're up there in Greenwell, I want to come.
Yes, you definitely will be able to come there. I can't wait to see you there so they can get some of this wonderful information that you're pouring out to everybody. I really, really appreciate you for having me on today.
Thank you so much. And I appreciate Mr. Jones for the introduction. Listen, I'll be going to the trademark to do some live cooking demonstration. I'll be doing a cooking demonstration at 9. I'll be doing one at 10. I'll be doing one at 11. I'll be doing one at 12. That's why I got my outfit on. I don't even have time to change. Let's go. Thank you for being a part of My Help My Mississippi. We'll see you next Thursday on WMPR 90.1, number one station in the nation that provided you with some healthy information. We'll see y'all next week. Give me my theme song. Whoa!
Future in great health today.
Every day, responsible.
Woo!